Hello guys, how are you? This is the second video of my channel. I'm very delighted and as well excited to have more responses from all of you guys from my first video. And same thing also I'm expecting that I also get more and more responses from the second video also. Today also I have decided to explain you technically about the Nifty index, right? So now I'm straight away going to the Nifty index. You see that I have opened a chart of a daily candlestick pattern of Nifty 50, right? So there are so many pattern of candlestick. I have earlier told you that I am not going to disclose, I'm not going to discuss about this candlestick pattern because it will take a lot of times, and I'm promising you that as far as this candlestick pattern is concerned, I will make a new video for all of you. Now you see, on 24th, when I explained about the Nifty, I clearly told you based on the technical parameters that there is a possibility to retrace from this zone. I mean, there is a possibility to rally towards the upside. Why? I also explained some technical parameters. Those who haven't seen my first video, request you to please kind of look into that video also, so that you can get all the information of why the Nifty has rallied and what is the reason of rallying. And I also explained very nicely over there. You see, on 24th, I told that Nifty may retrace from this level towards the upside level. Why? I also emphasized that as long as the Nifty will trade above this level, that is 15,750, which is 123.6% of Fibonacci retracement zone. So there is a possibility to rally upside, and same thing happened on the very next day. You see a bullish candle has appeared on 24th. It closed on 15,790.45, and the very next day, that is on 25th, it opened 15,839 and closed 15,866, more than 100 points, which I predicted. That happened. And thank you very much. Now let me explain about what could be the Nifty by this week. What would be the range of the Nifty by this week? First, I'm going to explain you about the implication of the candlestick. Here is the last candle. These candles we technically call a hanging man pattern. Why it is hanging man pattern? Because you see that basically the body of the hanging man pattern is very small, and there is a long tail or wick, whatever you say. This is called a hanging man. If any hanging man appears at the end of the uptrend, the uptrend has started from here straight away. You see, uptrend started on 22nd April, and it went up to this till today. This is the last point. It may go more upside. That's a different issue. But till today, it is the last point of the uptrend. So at the last point of the uptrend, if there is this kind of pattern appears, which we call technically a hanging man pattern. So a hanging man pattern generally signifies the bearish reversal pattern, right? This is as far as daily candlestick chart is concerned. Now I have to check also weekly candlestick pattern. If you go to the weekly candlestick chart, what we are seeing? You see there is a big bullish candle. All the green candles are known as a bullish candle, and all the red candles are to be considered as a bearish candle. That this is a very big bullish candle. This candle has appeared in such a way as if it has engulfed the very next candle, that is red candle. So that is why it is called bullish engulfing pattern. If a bullish engulfing pattern appears at the top of the uptrend, which we technically call, which signifies that signifies the bearish reversal pattern. But still we cannot come to a conclusion based on the daily candlestick pattern of daily and weekly chart. But we have to also check the momentum oscillator. We have to check the momentum oscillator. Accordingly, we can come to a conclusion of or accordingly we can determine the resistance and support zone of the Nifty, right? First of all, I like to plot the stochastic. Stochastic is a very, very fantastic oscillator, and it gives a very, very quick signal. It's a very popular. Lot of traders are using the stochastics. By using stochastics, lot of people are also making a lot of profit also there. So firstly, let me plot the stochastic over here. Now I'm plotting the stochastic. Just I plotted the stochastic. You see, there are two lines of the stochastic. and there are so many crossover in the stochastic. This crossover generally works as a buying or selling signal, right? Upside crossover is known as a selling signal. Downside crossover is known as a buying signal. You know, when the stochastic, there are two lines. There's a red line and there's a dotted line. If you see, when a red line intersect the dotted line from downside, this intersect part, which is called the positive crossover or a bullish crossover. The same thing, when that red line intersects from upside to the dotted line, which is called, this is a bearish crossover. So there are so many bearish crossover, there is so many bullish crossover, right? But you see that bullish crossover has made on which date? That 21st. That is why you have seen that one candle, this candle has, there is some, there is a positive buy, this is a buying signal. That is the very next candle you see, this is a bullish candle, because from here we have seen that golden crossover has created particular with this candle, and the very next candle you see, this candle, the close of this candle 15,746, and this candle was on open 15,840 and close 15,772. So this is a bullish. This is the beauty of this stochastic oscillator. You see, another thing is the stochastic. How does the stochastic works very nicely? You see, have you checked? You see from here. That's I'm giving one example from this level. You see this. You see this is a crossover, downside crossover. So here you got the crossover. So at the end of the day is the crossover. So you cannot take a decision. The very next candle you can make an entry. If you would have entered over here, you could have booked the profit here. The next intersection part, you see, this is the next intersection part. When this particular red line, the stochastic line intersects from upside to the dotted line, it means it is a downtrend. It means it is creating a downtrend. So you could have booked the profit. If you would have entered from this candle, what is the level? The low was 14,421. The high was 14,570, around 100 points. And here, close was 485. And here you see, the close was 890, 400 points. You could have earned the 400 points. Can you believe it? The Nifty one lot is 75 and 400 points around how much? 60,000 would have earned. This is called a signal. So now stochastic is also very bullish. Okay. Also, we cannot come to a conclusion. We'll have to check the another parameter. So another very popular parameter which I'd like to mention, lot of traders also follow that parameter, which is called the RSI, Relative Strength Index. First let me plot the RSI. What the RSI says, this is the Relative Strength Index. Okay, now I am plotting the RSI, right? RSI basically lies in between, let me plot the RSI. RSI is in between 70 and 30, so I have to make one line over here, that is on 50. Below 50 RSI is known as a bearish zone, and above 50 RSI is known as a bullish zone. What is the value of RSI over here? The value of RSI over is 65.1. So RSI is bullish. So stochastics is a bullish, RSI is also bullish, right? So next is, and candles, as far as the candlestick pattern is concerned, we came to there is a chances of a bearish trend reversal. Apart from it also, we have to check the ATR, the volatility. We have to measure the volatility of a price. To measure the volatility of a price, there is a one indicator which you call ATR. ATR stands for average true range. Let me also plot the average true range. What the average true range says about the volatility. So we can have some idea about the volatility of the price. You see, let me plot the average true range. I'm just plotting the average true range. Just I plotted the average true range here. I plotted the average. What is the value of average true range? 166.01. With the average true range, I have to plot the 9 simple moving average. Then only I come to a conclusion. Then only I will be able to determine the volatility, whether it is a high volatility or whether it is a less volatility. Now come to the simple moving average. I have to plot the moving average also. Let me plot the moving average. Where is the moving average? This is the moving average. Let me plot this. I'm plotting the moving average over here, and parameter is 9. This is a simple moving average. I have to change the color. I'm making the color in blue. Now OK bottom, I'm clicking again, I'm clicking OK, you see. So it means if you average true range, it means what you call, if the value less than equal to simple moving average, less than equal to, you see the value is, the average true range value is this. So it, just remember, if this is generally below the simple moving average line or equal to the simple moving average line, which is known as a less volatility. If it is above this particular line, which is known as a high volatility. So it is below the 9 simple moving average, this is a less volatility. So as far as the volatility part is concerned, this is the less volatility. Next, I have to also check about the moving average crossover. So moving average crossover means short-term moving average crossover. You have to plot the 5 DMA moving average crossover. Also, you have to plot the 20 DMA moving average crossover. Just I am showing you the first one moving average crossover, then you can easily understand what is this. So I am plotting the moving average. Moving average. First of all, I am plotting the 5 DMA moving average. This is a 5 DMA moving average. This simple moving average. Okay, and then I have to plot the 20 DMA moving average. I am plotting the 20 DMA moving average also. Now I am plotting the 20 DMA moving average. You see parameters would be the 20. You have to change it, make it 20, and you have to change the color also, because previous one red color, so you have to make a different color so that you will be able to understand. Color, okay. This, you see moving average crossover. You see this is 20 simple moving average, and red one is 5 simple moving average. If you see the 5 simple moving average intersect the 20 simple moving average, so it has already intersected, it is above this moving average. So in short term it is a bullish. In case of long term, 20-50 DMA moving average also, the 20 DMA moving average crosses above the 50 DMA moving average. This is medium term. And as far as long term is concerned, 50 DMA moving average has to intersect the 200 DMA moving average. This is a long term. So as far as moving average crossover is concerned, this is a bullish. So stochastic is also bullish, RSI also bullish, moving average crossover is also bullish. You know, then ATR I have seen there is a less volatility. ATR is the less volatility. Next, I would like to plot another indicator which we call the ROC, price of ROC. Let me plot first, then I will say why I am plotting the ROC. ROC here. Let me plot the ROC. Just let me plot the ROC over here. ROC is here. Sorry, what is ROC? PQR. This is the price of ROC. I am plotting the price of ROC over here. This ROC. I have plotted the ROC. ROC plot on a zero line, which differentiate the positive and negative value, right? Basically, the time period generally considered in 20 days. When the value is below zero, indicates the bearish condition. When the value is above zero, indicates the bullish condition, right? So, what is the zero? It is that ROC is above the zero. It means which indicates the bullish condition, right? It is not below the zero. So it is as it is above the zero, that is a bullish condition. There is a bullish condition. So as far as ROC is concerned, it is a bullish. As far as stochastic is concerned, it is bullish. As far as moving average, as far as moving average crossover is concerned, it's a bullish. So all the parameters are bullish, but only thing is that as far as candlestick pattern is concerned, it signifies the bearish reversal pattern. So now we can come to a conclusion that, you see, this is a very, very important zone, that is 15,750. This is a very, very vital support zone. So we have to wait for that. If we see based on this technical parameter, if it goes upsides, if it doesn't breach downside, then it can test the level of 138.2% of Fibonacci retracement zone, that is 15,900, right? So only the Nifty, if the Nifty trades above this level, that is 15,750, then only it can test particular this level. But if it if it breaks below that, it may